That remains to be seen. With Micaiah and Blake, since we got back from Hawaii, we've yet to practice with a full squad, and we won't until Friday before Jacksonville State at the earliest. So, but we're slowly but surely coming out of our protocols, and it is what it is. And the guys that are able to play or able to practice, and I use that word lightly, they've been doing a good job.
John?
Hey, Coach, you've talked before about the value of having guys that are able to stay into the program for a while, especially with the pack line, and how that can help them in their later years. And you mentioned some specific situations of guys at Virginia that did the same thing and come in and didn't play much. I know Shiloh is a little bit different. He did play as a freshman and obviously had a big role last year. But is he kind of like the prototypical type guy that you're looking at as someone that kind of comes on a little slowly, if you will, and then by the time he's an upperclassman, he's ready to kind of take that leap forward?
Yeah, no doubt, John. And again, look who he was playing behind as a freshman, Caleb Holmesley. And as a sophomore, he got more minutes, he had a much bigger role in his freshman year. But he wasn't quite as confident yet. Now he's as good a defender as there is in the league. And offensively, he's confident. So it's what you hope for when you recruit him, because you see that potential. But that development comes from ownership from the players and a great assistant coaching staff. I think our program is developmental, at least I hope so. And I think Shiloh is a prime example of owning that and really flourishing, because I think he's having a great year. It just gets a little overshadowed because we have Darius McGhee, and Keegan's playing really well, and so but truth be told, I like having a team that's balanced and that it could be any guy on any night, and certainly we've shown glimpses of that.
Jermaine?
Coach, I got one. With Darius.
Hey, Nick, I'm sorry. You got to raise your hand. Jermaine had his hand raised, and I know you got a podcast, but I didn't see the hand raise.
Go ahead, Jermaine.
Go ahead, Nick. I defer you, sir. You started, so I'll wrap up, sir. It's okay.
Well, wait, Nick, let me see your hand there.
I'll let Nick go now. Yeah, there it is.
All right, Nick, we'll throw it to you.
My bad, guys. Trying to remember what I was going to ask you now. So, Darius, I see some stuff on Twitter, some people starting to kind of talk at the national level a little bit. I mean, do you feel like he's getting the attention that he deserves and that he should be getting at this point on the national level?
I mean, I don't pay much attention to it, Nick. I know there's people that have taken notice because of the phone calls I get from the highest level, but I don't think he's worried about any of that stuff either. Darius is an exceptional representative of our program, and the best thing about him, he really wants to win the game. Now, as humble and as unassuming as he presents himself, the dude's got a lot of confidence. So you need that in order to do what he's doing. And as long as he does it in the right way, I'm just going to keep giving him the freedom that he needs, because I trust him to go out and try and do what's best for our team. But in terms of national acclaim, you guys and John and Dame and Steven, I think you guys do a better job of that than anyone. Jermaine?
Coach, I wanted to ask you, I asked D-Mac this, so I asked R-Mac this question. You're R-Mac, D-Mac, so all four of us. I wanted to ask you, how do you feel that the non-conference portion of the schedule prepared you guys for the conference start you guys are having?
Fair question, Jermaine. The easy answer is it prepared us well. The regret I have is I underestimated or didn't calculate how old teams would be in college basketball this year. So we didn't take a transfer, and that was intentional because we felt like we had some pretty good freshmen, and we wanted to get them ready. But they were playing against, in some cases, grown men, and it's just hard. So I probably would have done it differently if I could. But Coach Johnston reminds me often there wasn't a game that we didn't take that wasn't on our schedule. So we took what we could get. And I just think if you can't get high majors to play you on their floor, you got to try and get neutral games against the best opponents that you can if other mid-majors or high majors won't play you home and home. So, I mean, if you look at our schedule, Missouri for 2-for-1, it doesn't happen much at this level. We go to LSU. They're obviously pretty good. Iona's, they got a great team. Everyone thinks the Manhattan loss was an eyesore. But with 0 prep days in between and them being the oldest team in college basketball and us coming off a 2-game losing streak, we were set up there. So I don't know how many we've won over the last whatever, but I think our guys are playing differently than we did early in the season. Therefore, I'd say I think that non-conference schedule has helped us. And if we had gone 10-5 instead of 9-6, it wouldn't make any difference whatsoever in terms of an at-large bid. So that would be my opinion. Matt? Or did you have your hand up first?
I totally gave you the punch.
Okay, all right. I mean, since the Chiefs won, you go ahead.
I don't know, Coach wants, a week or week and a half off during the season like this, but trying to find positives within that. Do you think for younger players, especially, having these kind of natural resets, like you have a week to kind of reset, refocus, could that be a positive for some of the younger guys? Almost that the season's kind of segmented because of these forced breaks.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for a positive spin, that would be it. But you and I both know they want to play. Even the skill work or the modified practices, they're by this time of year, I think we're in practice 60 something. They want to play. So especially at home because we have such a great venue and Flames Nation comes out and supports us. So I don't know what we're going to look like on Thursday. North Al plays really hard, up-tempo. But I'm not as concerned as probably you might think. I obviously want to win the game. But I know there's going to need to be a run-up or a runway to get back to form. Now, obviously, again, I want to win. But I'm going into it with eyes wide open. John?
I don't know if you're superstitious or not, but I don't think it's been talked about enough. It's been talked about some, but Saturday is coming up on the 3-year anniversary of how long this home win streak's been going on. 44 games, second longest in the country, and that's pretty remarkable to put it lightly. Do you stop and think about that at times? Just how remarkable this streak has been.
Yeah, Steven Gonzalez reminds me of how many games the streak is because I'm not superstitious, but I don't want to jinx it. And so I called Mark Few because I looked at Steven's notes and Gonzaga's got 68, I think, something like that. And I called him and I just said, man, what you've done is unprecedented. Because I know how hard it is to I think our longest at Virginia was 20 or 21 at New Mexico when we averaged 15,000 plus. It was, I want to say 23 or 24. But 44 is that's, so no, I try not to think about it because obviously if you lose one, the streak is broken. But I will say it's a great compliment to not only our players and the assistant coaches that have worked incredibly hard, our managers, but the fans that have come to support us. So it'll come to an end one day. I just hope it's not the next game.
Dane?
Richie, I asked Darius about his time at Blue Ridge and how that helped shape him into the player he is
Well, I knew Cade Lemke, his coach at Blue Ridge. And Cade's a UVA alum and former player, and we actually used to hoop together. And I went to see Darius. I didn't go see Darius. I went to go see Gabriel and Luke when they played LCA. And I think Darius had 16 in the first quarter, something like that. And I called Cade immediately after the game, and I said, "Who is this kid?" The same thing happened, actually, ironically, when I was at Virginia, and we saw Seth Allen play against the Covenant School, and I asked, "Who is this kid?" We didn't get Seth Allen. I think he went to Maryland and Virginia Tech. But I went with Coach Johnston the next game they played. I want to say it was at VES, and told Cade after the game, I'm offering him a scholarship. I loved him. And the only reason he didn't get more offers is because he's 5'9". He passes the eye test when you watch him play. How can you not root for him? But I'll tell you another story, since we have 3 minutes and 55 seconds. In the summertime, after he had committed before his senior year, he played for Team Loaded. And we were at a tournament, and Darius, all the coaches, this is pre-COVID, all the coaches are sitting over there, and Darius legitimately went 1 for his first 27 threes. 1. And I called him after, it was about game 4, and I said, "Hey, man, if you're going to come play for us, you better not stop shooting. That's a gift you got." And I think it stunned him. So he went on to have and at that time, when we're sitting there and the coach, "Oh, you guys got the little guy?" Yeah, he's not bad. Well, fast forward to his freshman year, he had one of those slumps again, and he shot himself out of it. And now there's not a coach in the country that wouldn't take him. I didn't tell you that story to tell you I was right. I'm telling you that story because just because he's 5'9" doesn't mean he's not a high major player. You can't put limitations on guys because of their height. You gotta evaluate his pursuit, his heart, and his investment in the team and his success. And Darius McGhee was a 5-star in all the aforementioned. So, look, I'm not surprised by his success. I think he's such a great kid. He's deferred over before the senior year, and now he sees the need to do more, and he's done it. That answer your question, Dame? Coach Johnson? What? Coach Getter, not Coach Johnston, sorry. Stephen keeps me young.